Hey, folks. Dukect here back once again. Hoping you had a great week and then getting ready toward the Royal Rumble and pay-per-view and all that good stuff. Thank you again for joining me here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much. Anyway, if you want to know, if you have to know, we got a live chat room right here live. If you need anything to chat and everything else. If you're not listening, not here live, you know, you can catch this on Blip TV or on my YouTube channel, and hopefully you enjoy the podcast there. Anyway, hopefully it wasn't that bad or what have you. And I'm going to keep going and keep going. I can't stop or won't stop or what have you. Anyway, you can tell it's completely unscripted. Maybe I should start scripting these. But anyway, so let's get on to it. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Dukect Lounge. Anyway, this is Dukect. Thank you for being here with me. Anyway, via live or listening on Blip. Anyway, if you want to use a phone number, the number is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the number is 92417. Okay, tonight we are going to be talking mainly WWE, because I honestly, let's be honest, I am going to be talking about this. The reason I'm going to be talking about it is because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The road to WrestleMania is starting, and it starts this Sunday for the 25th annual Royal Rumble. Man, so many memories, so many stars, so many things in the past 25 years of this great event. So many WrestleManias matches started here. So many great moments, not only on the pathway to WrestleMania, but for the Royal Rumble itself. So many moments, so much greatness, so much, let's be honest, so much of the entire scope of the match. And not only just the matches, you have the main match, the Royal Rumble, but how about all the great stuff that performing Intercontinental title matches, World title matches, WWE title matches that not only were good, but great in the Royal Rumble. And we'll be talking some about those matches here, in the past or what have you. But mainly, I'm going to be talking a bit about this Royal Rumble. This Royal Rumble, this pay-per-view. Let's see if it could stand up on its own merits. And we're going to be talking mainly about the matchups, who is, what's going to happen, what storyline's going to lead up to the Royal Rumble, and in fact, we're going to be also talking about an injury. Yes, it's somebody somebody just got injured, and I'll be talking about that tonight. And I'm going to be talking about someone who's actually is injured, and we're going to be doing that. We're going to be talking more about that tonight here on the Dukect Lounge and what that effect is going to have here. Here on the Dukect Lounge. What effect is it? So anyway, let's get on this cracking. Let's talk about the matchups. You have John Cena taking on the Big Red Machine. You got the World Title Triple Threat Cage match as Daniel Bryan defends the title against Mark Henry and The Big Show. You got the WWE Championship match as CM Punk takes on the show-off Dolph Ziggler, and the special guest referee is the Vice President of he is the Vice President of Talent Relations. No, I'm sorry. The Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and intern General Manager of Raw, Mr. John Laurinaitis, as your special guest referee. Boy, this is going to be something. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Royal Rumble match itself, featuring guys like Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, R-Truth, Sheamus, and we know who is the number one guy, the first man who will enter the Royal Rumble, The Miz. Ooh, well, let's see if The Miz can do it. Let's see if The Miz can go away and get the shot at the WWE World title. Also, who's going to be there? Well, everyone's favorite wrestler, Heath Slater, is in the Royal Rumble, Jinder Mahal, and Hornswoggle. And this is actually going to be a very interesting card, because this is only 3 cards, and you never know. More matches will be announced, and we don't know what other things will happen on the day of, on Friday, and everything else. It looks like, well, it looks like it's just going to be those matchups. Anyway, we'll be right back after these after this quick break here. I'll be right back, and we'll talk about favorite moments, my favorite moments. And if you have any of your favorite moments, leave a comment on YouTube, or if you're here live, message in the chat room, or call in. Remember, the number is 724-444-7444. Call ID to connect to me is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. If you're here live. If not, well, you can always participate, and you can talk about your favorite moments at the Royal Rumble in the comments below the YouTube, and hopefully you will hopefully, good moments as well. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that after the break. We'll be right back here on the Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back right after this. And thanks for joining me here in the Dukect Lounge on TalkShoe.com. And we are back live here on the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you for joining me here, not live, but here. Um, only listen to this podcast not only on talkshoe.com, but also here on YouTube and our Blip, and hopefully sounds okay. Anyway, next up, we're talking about favorite Royal Rumble moments. Now, these are moments that have been ingrained in us, have been putting our entire wrestling, positive and or negative stuff. And if you do have anything positive, well, here's put something in the comments about Rumble. What will you probably never forget? Never forget. Me personally, oh, there's a lot of things I will not forget. Um, the the one thing from my childhood that I remember watching my first live Royal Rumble was the table match between the Hardys and the Dudleys. I remember that. That was really, wow. And it was just to me, that was, one of the more, how do you say, like a appetizer for the big thing to come from the triple threat ladder match that will come Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, and the Hardys. Just great stuff here. Just great stuff. It was really a good match. Also, remembering Chyna being the first woman to enter the Royal Rumble match. And not only that, you have Rikishi dancing, all that good stuff. It was really fun. I liked it was so interesting seeing all these guys of this 30, it was so interesting. And then you have The Rock winning the Royal Rumble, and it was like finally The Rock is going to WrestleMania. That was just, I was just awestruck. It was so, my first time ever watching the Royal Rumble. It was so, my first WrestleMania Royal Rumble back in the 2000s. It was like, wow. I mean, you saw the Raw. I mean, I saw this stuff. I wasn't there. I was on pay-per-view, and it was just so like, wow. And since then, I always loved the event. Always loved the event. Always seemed to try to catch it. One of the most other memorable moments of the Royal Rumble is to me, the world title match between Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. That was really great. And then the standing O for Chris Benoit was just beautiful. I loved that. I loved it. It was great. And I think it was something I would probably never forget in a good long while. It was, man, that was a great moment. It's a shame that will probably never be played again, but, since for other reasons. But, yeah, that was a great moment in time. And also, who can forget the other great moment, the other just brilliant moment that you have Ric Flair going from pillar to post, from number 3, I think it was number 3, to just surviving everybody, and winning the WWF title at the time, and delivering one of the best promos. And I was like, this, with a tear coming through my eye, and say this was the most greatest moment of my entire life. It was great. It was beautiful. I loved it. It was great to see that, and then Heenan's reaction. Yes, yes, it was great. You're never going to have that again. Even though I have a sneaky suspicion that they're going to try to do the same thing at Miz, but you know what? It won't. Miz will never be replaced. Heck, they haven't booked him as I try to book him as a tough guy that fails. And besides, it's not for the WWE title. That's the Royal Rumble. It wasn't for the WWE title. Which honestly I would like to see. Personally, I think that would be nice. I mean, I want to hear y'all response to this. How about a Royal Rumble for the undisputed World Heavyweight title, what have you? You have former WWE title holders, also people who are the top tier as well. Former champions, both for World and WWE, how brief or what have you, get in the Royal Rumble Also, you get like they get an automatic entry and they get to later rounds. Other superstars who are the guys who don't get it and everything else fighting matches and everything else, and they win. They win. Um, they win and everything else. They get like the top 10. Um, I'm talking like from 1 to 10. I know there are probably at least 20 guys at least are somewhere 20 guys who are going to be competing. I probably blank save like it's Kane, Kane, Dolph Ziggler. I'm trying to name like 10 guys, at least a minimum of 10 guys get like automatic entries to go to compete for the chance to get the undisputed championship, and the rest like they have matchups to determine their spot in the Royal Rumble. And the recent champions and such, the two guys who were champions get like 29 and 30. And there you go, 29 30. You have and then the winner gets the undisputed title, but also the second place runner up gets a title shot at WrestleMania. Or you can build that up as you can still have the two elimination chambers, one for the undisputed title and the other for a shot at WrestleMania, that sort of thing. If I'm wrong, please, tell me what type of things I can add into it, because I'm just spitballing. Because I think that'll be a really interesting idea. Of course, they'll probably just screw it up, but I honestly think that's a really good idea to, really try to probably have all these guys, build the whole Rumble up. I know it's special, but I would just like to have an undisputed championship again, and have the Royal Rumble fight for a title would be really nice. It would actually be really nice and actually be something of a, something really, how do you say, really memorable. Something, another memorable Royal Rumble. And I'm surprised that WWE hasn't done that yet. I mean, when I guess a championship, for the Royal Rumble, would have been nice, that sort of thing. I wonder why they don't do that again, which I still don't know why they don't, but I think it would be a cool idea if you had the undisputed title for Royal Rumble for WrestleMania. That would be really great. Anyway, um, time for another commercial break. If you had any moments about that, about the Royal Rumble or anything else, what your moments are. You rather be the Royal Rumble match or anything else. Put put it down there. Put it down in the comment section on YouTube and what have you. Anyway, I'll be taking another commercial. Not commercial. I don't have no money. No one's gonna give me no ads and everything else. We'll be doing another break. Listen to some OC remix, and then we'll be right back here on the Duke CT Lounge. See y'all later after the break. Peace. All right. All right, and here it is. Live on Talk Show. Talk Show. All right, here on the Duke CT Lounge. We'll be right back after this. And we are back here on the Dukect Lounge. Phone number is 724-444-7444. And again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. That's how TalkShoe works. And if you want to do something more, anything else, remember, if you have a chat option, you can actually you have a microphone and everything else. You can also connect to the shoe phone so you can actually, talk to me, directly and such. But if you can't talk to me, on the chat room and also on comments here as well. Comments and everything else. So anyway, it's time for the main event. Let's talk about this year's Royal Rumble matches. Okay, up first is the non-title match, as the man known as Kane has been tormenting Cena for the past couple of weeks, commenting and torturing him, basically wanting him to embrace hatred, embrace everything that Cena tries to rise above against. And since he has been targeting John Cena, since then, John Cena has not been the same Cena as we all know and, tolerate. He has been outweighed, he has been outgunned, outthought, out everything by Kane. In fact, it has affected not only John Cena, but also the people around him. Most notably, his new friend, Zack Ryder. Kane has ultimately cost him his best friend, one of his good friends, Zack Ryder, the WWE United States Championship. And now, Zack Ryder is now gone out for a pretty long while. He is gone. Will he make an appearance at the Royal Rumble? We might not know. As now, Zack Ryder is basically been on the shelf. But what is Kane is going to be doing about this? Kane and everything else. Kane Kane has been basically manipulating John Cena, doing all this horrible stuff. But the question is, what can Cena do? What can Cena do? Is this match? Cena has basically been going down this dark path, going into it, basically destroying Jack Swagger and acting like he's not himself. Cena has been basically has been lowering himself to the hatred. And since then, Kane has been so in his head that he cannot fight, he cannot do anything. John Cena is basically, he can't do anything. He's been stuck and he can't do anything until this Sunday. He can finally let all that anger, all that frustration out this Sunday. Because at the Royal Rumble, Cena can, try to rise above it, or it looks like more and more that he is going to embrace the hate and try to maybe even defeat Kane or become what, Kane wants to be, to defeat him. And Kane, after Kane is done, what is that going to affect John Cena for his match later on for WrestleMania, his date with Destiny with the great one, The Rock? Is this going to throw him off his game more to the point that he might not be able to defeat him? Or this may be the kick in the butt he needs to actually defeat The Rock, defeat Dwayne. So anyway, the question is, what do you do? What is Cena going to do? And what is Cena going to win? Is he going to rise above like he always does? Or will Kane, once again, since he has been basically manipulating him, going down all the stuff, and, well, make Cena rise, not rise above it, but will Cena embrace the hate? That's going to be the question. And, well, my personal opinion is I think Cena is going to embrace the hate, folks. Win or lose, he will embrace the hate, and that will push him. That will push him to finally beat The Rock at WrestleMania. That's my personal thing. I think it's going to be a good match, too. Because Cena and Kane, I think Kane has been. I haven't seen much of Kane since there's no new stuff and everything else. He did have a decent match with Zack Ryder, him dominating. I think it's going to be like that, but I think it's going to be more of a condensed feud and everything else. And hopefully, it will finally, after this match, we'll finally see what's going on. It's going to be known. We're going to know what's all about with Cena and Kane. Anyway, let's move on to the next match. The World Heavyweight Championship match as Kane. No, I have Kane on the brain. Sorry. As he is the World Heavyweight Championship match as Daniel Bryan takes on the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, and the 7-foot giant, The Big Show. Before we have to get into that, we have a bit of an injury for one of the three men. That is Mark Henry has injured. He has suffered a hyperextended knee during his match with The Big Show on a Friday night taping. And this is what happened to Mark Henry. He has been out in injuries, and it's a shame for his career. He has been now out with injuries and such. It looks like and everything else. It just looks like, well, Mark Henry has, well, another injury. But to me personally, I think it's time for Mark Henry to retire. He's just getting injured. I mean, that's why he has this whole, well, Daniel Bryan, him becoming world champion, and this, well, heel turn and such. And honestly, I think Daniel Bryan's doing great with the heel turn. He's doing really good stuff. But honestly, Mark Henry, if he's not going to be, well, this injury prone, I think it's time for him to step back and hopefully bring up somebody else. Maybe Mason Ryan can do that task because I haven't seen much of him. But I think he could actually be someone of a big, strong guy to be that mean, very mean, and everything else type of guy. I think he can. Or Ezekiel Jackson, because I think he can do it as well. Ezekiel Jackson or maybe Mason Ryan, not Mason Ryan, Mason Ryan, Mark Henry, Mason Ryan and Ezekiel Jackson. I think those two guys who I think could be really good next couple years. I think that these two guys could be something of really good thing to probably replace the world strong. But no one can replace the world's strongest man, but at least fill it this places, what have you. So yeah. So honestly, I think maybe Mark Henry should be bowing out, but at least I think he should wait around to maybe next year, maybe a career versus match like him taking on Ezekiel Jackson or something, and he loses, Mark Henry loses, or what have you. Personally, because I think it's time for him to go. Maybe put him in backstage, which I think would be good. And everything else. So I think that's what's going to really be the most um, interesting thing. I think Mark Henry, if he really is that injured, he might not be able to compete. Anyway, next up we have next two guys, Big Show and Daniel Bryan. I think those two guys would probably be a really good matchup. And I think this whole thing is going to continue on to WrestleMania until maybe, somebody else unseats him. Personally, I would like to see, say, Kofi Kingston, since, well, guess what? Kofi Kingston, I honestly would like him to see him win the Royal Rumble and him facing Daniel Bryan for the championship in a long extended match at WrestleMania. Hey, Kofi is probably one of those main dudes, so I would like to see him go all around and win the Royal Rumble and have him face Daniel Bryan in a good long matchup at WrestleMania and everything else. That would be my personal opinion. Anyway, speaking of WrestleMania itself and opponents, speaking of WrestleMania and people who go, I think it's going to go into WrestleMania as champion and what have you. I already talked about the Royal Rumble, well, but I think it would be nice to see Kofi Kingston win. But speaking of that, let's talk about the Royal Rumble matchup. I know I'm skipping everything else. I know the WWE title match will probably come up before the Royal Rumble. But anyway, I'll get to that after this one. I think the Royal Rumble match is going to be probably really good this year because I'm back to 30, which is a great idea because honestly, it just dragged on. This show dragged when they had 40. It was people were tired, people didn't want to cheer anymore. It was no more. With 30, it's nice, contained. You get a nice little decent breathing room. Like, okay, after 30, okay, we finally figured out the crowd and to the anticipation. It's great. You can do all this type of stuff. And to me, the whole 40, it just seems like a way to just get the core and the Nexus in there, which just was, well, the term, well, pathetic because, let's be honest, the Nexus was eliminated by one man, and that man was John Cena, and, well, there you go. Anyway, but honestly, my pick to win the Royal Rumble is Kofi Kingston, and he will challenge Daniel Bryan to go to WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. A well-deserved reign for him, and hopefully he doesn't turn heel as a result. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, and now it's time for the WWE title match as Dolph Ziggler, the show-off, takes on CM Punk, the WWE Champion. And as the now in we will now and the referee will now and with the special guest referee, the executive vice president of talent relations and the intern general manager of Monday Night Raw, John Laurinaitis. Anyway, I honestly I don't know what this. I think the match is gonna be really good. I know there's going to be a screwy finish as CM Punk's going to lose the title and Dolph Ziggler's going to win. But I would love to see that Dolph Ziggler actually gets the job done and not be getting a screw job victory because I'm getting really sick and tired of him basically needing help to beat CM Punk because honestly I just tired of that same stupid type of booking that's just I'm tired of that type of booking. You need to do something more interesting, more original. I mean something different. Turn the table like, oh, we're going to screw you, CM Punk, which is actually interesting. But anyway, I got a feeling this is going to be it. Dolph Ziggler is going to beat CM Punk, and that will lead into CM Punk versus John Laurinaitis at WrestleMania. That's what I think they're going to pull for. That's what I think is going to happen. John Laurinaitis will fight CM Punk at WrestleMania. And that's what's going to happen, my personal opinion. And the matches. Honestly, I see no horrible matches here. Let's say at a Divas match. Otherwise, I think this is going to be a very memorable and great Royal Rumble. Anyway, that's all I got here. Anyway, that's all I got here. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me here on the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you once again. And I will see y'all when I see y'all later. Thank you once again. And before I go, I already made my thing and stuff like that. Before I go, I have a guest. I have one guest. And I was just about to shut down the show. God, that is amazing. That's me all the way. Anyway, the guest here live here on the Duke CT Lounge. Well, anyway, I'm about to head out and he just leaves now. vintage me. Well, hopefully, maybe I have better content next time, and hopefully you all be here, just a smidge bit earlier. That'd be great, a bit earlier. But anyway, thank you very much for paying attention. Thank you very much for listening and, or well, being here right now for me, Duke CT. Anyway, all right, next week we'll be talking, well, not the WWE, we'll be talking about the NFL. That's right, Super Bowl. You're talking about the Super Bowl. The big Super Bowl, the Giants versus the Patriots, and we're talking mainly about that. Who do you think is going to win, who's going to lose, and all that good stuff. What's going to happen? And, well, we'll talk about a little bit about Peyton Manning's, well, who's he going to be playing for as well. Anyway, Duke CT here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.